Hello students, welcome back to the accountancy session. Before beginning today's class, let us discuss the homework problems. This is the first homework problem which I gave you in the previous class. Here, the homework problem is done in the format of journal. The first transaction is business started with cash on April 1st, 2018. In the first column, under date, 2018 April 1 should be entered. Under particulars, cash account space dr dot should be written. This is how the account which has to be debited should be written. Here, dr dot stands for debit. In the next line, little away from the margin, to capital account should be written. This is how the account which has to be credited should be written. Here, the rules applied are debit what comes in, cash is coming inside, so we have debited cash account. Credit the giver, here the owner is the giver, so we have credited the owner's capital account. In the third line, narration should be written. Narration should begin with the word being and it should be written within brackets. Being business started with cash. In LF column, you need anything because we do not know the page number of the ledger here. In the debit amount and credit amount column, the same amount, that is 1 lakh, should be entered. Coming to the second transaction, date is April 2nd, bank account debit to cash account, being cash paid into bank. Here, the rules applied are debit the receiver, bank is the receiver here, credit what goes out. Cash is going out of the business into the bank. Coming to the third transaction, April 3rd, purchases account debit to cash account, being goods purchased for cash. Here, the rules applied are debit all expenses and losses, credit what goes out. Purchase is an expense here. Generally, when any item is purchased, that particular item should be debited. But when goods are purchased, purchase account should be debited. Similarly, when goods are sold, sales account should be credited. Coming to the fourth transaction, April 4th, cash account debit to bank account, being amount withdrawn from bank for office. Here the rules applied are debit what comes in, credit the giver. Students, you can notice that the fourth entry is just the opposite of the second entry, because in the second transaction, amount is deposited into bank, and in the fourth transaction, amount is withdrawn from the bank. Coming to the fifth transaction, Krishna account debit to sales account, being goods sold on credit. When goods are sold on credit, the person to whom the goods are sold should be debited. Next transaction, purchases account debit to sham account, being goods purchased on credit. Here, the person from whom the goods are purchased on credit is credited. Coming to the next transaction, cash received from Krishna. We are supposed to receive a cash of 15,000 from Krishna. But 2,000 rupees worth stock is returned by Krishna. So, remaining 13,000 should be paid by Krishna. In that, he is paying only 12,500 as cash because remaining 500 is discount allowed for Krishna. So the entry is cash account debit 12,500, discount allowed account debit 500 to Krishna account 13,000, being cash received from Krishna. Coming to the next transaction, here we have to pay cash to Sham. 22,500 rupees should be paid to Sham, but we are paying only 21,500 because 1,000 rupees is the discount received from Sham. So the entry is Sham account debit 22,500, to cash account 21,500, to discount received account 1,000 rupees, being cash paid to Shyam. The next entry is sales return account debit to Krishna account, being goods returned by Krishna. Next is cash sales, cash account debit to sales account. Next, rent paid, rent account debit to cash account. The last transaction is salary paid and the entry is salary account debit to cash account. This is the second homework problem based on accounting equation. The first transaction is Sunil started business with cash rupees 1,50,000. This 1,50,000 should be entered under cash and also under capital. The next transaction is open bank account by depositing 25,000 from cash. So 25,000 should be reduced from cash and 25,000 should be added in bank. Both are happening in the same side, that is under the asset side. When you add the amounts given in the asset side, you will get the amount which is equal to the capital. 1,25,000 plus 25,000 is equal to 1,50,000, which is the capital amount. Third transaction is sold personal car for rupees 50,000 and deposited money in bank account. So 50,000 is added in bank and the same 50,000 is shown under capital also. Coming to the fourth transaction, building and furniture purchased for rupees 1 lakh. So 1 lakh is reduced from cash and 1 lakh is added in building and furniture. The next transaction is purchased goods from Ram on credit. So 50,000 is shown under stock and same 50,000 is shown under the creditors. Next, paid cartage rupees 500. 500 is reduced from cash and same 500 is reduced from capital as expense. Next transaction, sold to Shyam on credit, goods costing rupees 6,000 for rupees 9,000. So 6,000 is reduced from stock, 9,000 is shown under debtors and the profit 3,000 is added to the capital. Coming to the next transaction, rent received 1,000 rupees, that is shown under cash and also under capital as income. Next is security deposits. 1,500 is added in cash and the same 1,500 is shown under liability as security deposits. The next transaction, stationery purchase for 100 rupees. So 100 rupees is reduced from cash and also from capital as expense. Now the 11th transaction is invested in shares, that is personal. So 50,000 is reduced from bank and the same 50,000 is reduced from capital as drawings. Next transaction, interest received. So 200 is added in cash and it is also added in capital as income. Next one, introduce fresh capital of rupees 25,000. So it is added in cash and also under capital. Coming to the last transaction, goods of rupees 500 were destroyed by fire. So 500 is reduced from stock and 500 is reduced from capital as loss. Now, if we add all the amounts given in the asset side, 52,100 plus 25,000 plus 1 lakh plus 43,500 plus 9,000, you will be getting 2,29,600. If you add the liabilities, it is 50,000 plus 1,500, which is equal to 51,500. When it is added with capital of 1,78,100, you get an amount of 2,29,600, which is equal to the assets. Now, let us discuss some more practical problems. The first illustration is based on accounting equation. Here, the first transaction is started business with cash. 70,000 rupees is shown under cash and capital. The next transaction, purchase goods on credit. 14,000 is shown under stock and under creditors. Third transaction, withdrew for private use. So 1,700 is reduced from cash and the same amount is reduced from capital as drawings. Fourth transaction, purchase goods for cash. So 10,000 is reduced from cash and 10,000 is added towards stock. Now if we add both the sides, the amount will be the same. The next transaction is wages paid. 300 rupees is reduced from cash and from capital as expense. Next transaction, paid to creditors. 10,000 rupees reduced from cash and the same 10,000 is reduced from creditors. Next one, sold goods on credit at par. 15,000 reduced from stock and 15,000 shown under debtors. Next one, sold goods costing rupees 3,000 for rupees 4,000. So 4,000 is added in cash and 3,000 is reduced from stock. 1,000 rupees is profit, that is added towards the capital. The next transaction is furniture purchased. So 500 is reduced from cash and 500 is shown under furniture. Coming to the second illustration, analyze the following transactions by using the traditional approach of debit and credit. The first transaction is commence business. Accounts affected are cash account and capital account. Cash account is a real account and capital account is a personal account. The rules applied here are debit what comes in and credit the giver. Amount is 1 lakh. Coming to the second transaction, bought goods for cash. Accounts affected are purchase account and cash account. Purchase account is a nominal account. Cash account is a real account. The rules applied are debit all expenses and losses and credit what goes out. Coming to the third transaction, sold goods to Ram. Ram is a personal account. Sales is a nominal account. The rules applied are debit the receiver and credit all incomes and gains. Fourth transaction, paid salary. Salary is a nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses. Cash is a real account. Credit what goes out. Drawing is a personal account. Debit the receiver. Cash is a real account. Credit what goes out. Bank is a personal account. Debit the receiver. Cash is a real account. Credit what goes out. Purchase is a nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses. Mohan is a personal account. Credit the giver. Cash is a real account. Debit what comes in. Sales is a nominal account. Credit all incomes and gains. In the ninth transaction, both machinery and cash are real accounts. Here the rules are debit what comes in and credit what goes out. The last transaction, depreciation is a nominal account. Here the rule is debit all expenses and losses. Machinery account is a real account. Here the rule is credit what goes out. This is the pictorial representation to understand the nature of accounts and whether it has to be debited or credited. Here the truck is an asset and the diesel which is used in truck is an expense. When the assets and expense increase, they have to be debited. When the liabilities, capital and revenue increase, they have to be credited. Debit, credit. Mathematics of accounts. Debit and credit are like plus and minus. But a very important difference is there. Plus always means to add, minus always means to subtract in mathematics. Whereas in accountancy, meaning of debit and credit depends upon the nature of account. In case of assets and expense, debit is plus. That is, when assets and expense increase, they have to be debited. Credit is minus. When assets and expense decrease, they have to be credited. For liabilities, capital and revenue, credit means plus. When liabilities, capital and revenue increase, they have to be credited. And debit means minus. When liabilities, capital and revenue decrease, they have to be debited. This is for your better understanding about the nature of accounts and whether they have to be debited or credited. Here we have the third illustration where we are going to analyze the same transactions which were given in illustration 2 using the modern approach of debit and credit. The first transaction is commenced business. Accounts affected are cash and capital. Cash comes under assets and capital comes under the capital itself. When assets increase, it has to be debited, so cash is debited here. When capital increases, it has to be credited, so capital is credited here. Coming to the second transaction, bought goods for cash, purchase comes under expense. When expense increase, it has to be debited and cash comes under assets. When assets decrease, it has to be credited. Third transaction, RAM comes under assets. As assets increase, RAM is debited and sales comes under revenue. As revenue increase, sales is credited here. Coming to the fourth transaction, salary is an expense. As it increases, we have debited it. Cash is an asset. As it decreases, we have credited it. Coming to the fifth transaction, drawing comes under capital. As it decreases, it is debited. Cash comes under assets. As it decreases, it is credited. The next transaction, bank comes under assets and cash also comes under assets. Here, bank amount is increased with 20,000. So, we are debiting bank account and cash amount is decreased for 20,000. So, we are crediting cash account here. The seventh transaction is bought goods from Mohan. Purchase comes under expense. As it increases, it is debited. Mohan comes under liabilities. As it increases, it is credited. Sold goods for cash. Cash comes under assets. As it increases, it is debited. Sales come under revenue. As it increases, it is credited. In the ninth transaction, both machinery and cash comes under assets. As machinery increases, it is debited and as cash decreases, it is credited. Last transaction, depreciation is an expense. As it increases, it is debited. Machinery is an asset. As it decreases, it is credited. Students, I think by now you have a clear idea about traditional method and modern method. For journalizing the transactions, you can either use traditional method or modern method. Here, I have few homework problems for you. This is the first homework problem. From the given information, you have to answer the questions given below. If you are able to answer all the 7 questions, that shows your understanding about recording of business transactions. Here I have one more homework problem on accounting equation. Try to do it by yourself. Anyway, we can discuss the answer in the next class. Okay children, see you in the next class with some more illustration problems. Thank you.